to reach for stories related by the Buddha. Is it about the sutta that you should read about the Buddha's biography? If it is, then it is Arya Pariyesana Sutta. That is the Buddha's own version of his own life. Not somebody wrote it like in the Vinaya Pitaka, Mahavaggapalis one. The Mahavaggapalis one is the one people use it nowadays, Dhamma school text. So read Arya Pariyesana Sutta. That means Majjhima Nikaya. What's the number? 26. Majjhima Nikaya 26. Besides the 16 mental impurities, upakilesas, is remorse one of the hindrances on the spiritual development. Yeah, remorse, as you can see, remorse, we take remorse as a hindrance, basic hindrance. These are actually projections from remorse. Now, when people are remorseful, they will go to different levels of anger. So remorse is kind of a very fundamental angry-based state of mind. But if you see Makka, if you see Upanaha, they are quite advanced akusalas. So I think Panchanivarnas are basic akusalas. Upakilesas are higher versions of those akusalas. Huh? That's why you don't see it as separate. During sitting meditation, when I get distracted, I would open my eyes and glance at the Buddha statue or Buddha lamp for a while. Then I return to watching my breath. At times, I would recite mantra to make my mind stay focused. May I know if the above are allowable for me to adopt to make sure I am practicing sitting meditation. So there is no hard and fast way to practice meditation, rather a certain context that we have to apply. But if you think that this is working, it should be okay, right? But one day you should try to do as recommended, not this way, right? Then that means you should find a Buddha statue all the time to meditate. Right? That means you will be having akusalas when there is no Buddha statue. Isn't it? You should see it. I think until you get there, it's okay to have a Buddha statue watching that. But after certain progress, just leave it. Do it alone. Do it the way we discuss in the suttas. You reminded us to pay attention more than the feet sensation during walking meditation. Is that correct, to observe the arising and passing away of emotion? Also the coming and going of thoughts during walking meditation? I think not. Because our main purpose that we achieve through walking is not to tap into higher thoughts, but to have a certain clarity of our mind. Once you have that clarity, even you sit down, you can do this, right? But if you're trying to purify thoughts while walking, then your focus will be changed, and you don't know then where you're walking and all that. You are not able to do it. So maybe after you walk for some time, then you feel a little exhausted, then you can do that after sitting. But while walking, don't try to observe the emotions, because then you are going to deviate from the expected purpose of walking meditation. Somebody was practicing walking meditation, but said, I have a hard time in practicing walking. I said, how do you practice? I close my eyes and walk. I said, lucky you did not, get hit by this big wall. That in that temple there's a very big wall. Yeah, Yes. They are messed up. They try to breathe while walking. Maybe they walk while breathing. One thing at one time, right? What else we should pay attention and contemplate during walking meditation? Mainly walking, the whole process of walking. As I said, while you're walking, you may see, you may hear, you may smell. Just observe them, but do not interpret. That means there is no focus on that. Because otherwise, you might feel out of touch from the meditation. Wouldn't it too much of attention in difficult aspects affect the mind concentration compared to one-pointedness attention such as breath? Wouldn't it too much of attention in difficult aspects affect the mind concentration? No, we don't pay too much attention. Too much attention is unnecessary. If you pay too much attention to anything, you will end up with arguments and problems. Let's say you pay too much attention to your loved ones. What will happen at the end? Then you will start to see different things you don't see before. You will suspect more, right? So don't pay too much attention. Maybe they are good people, but when we keep paying more attention, we will see some bad stuff of that person. And we're going to talk it out. That person will be mad after that, right? That is unnecessary. We need wise attention to a certain extent, not too much attention. All right. Help us the students to make progress in meditation. Is enlightenment the only goal? No. Buddhist meditation, let's say for instance, now you came here to learn meditation. I mean, proper meditation. The Buddha's way of meditation, not the Western way of not the Burmese style, not Sayadaw style. The Buddha's way of how to practice meditation. That's what we teach. So we can see a lot of references to that. Not my own, not Bhante Chandima's meditation. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. But at times, you need to calm down. You might not do it to enlighten. You need to calm down. Let's say when you work with your family members, your workplace, you feel like very stressed out. At that time, you may do a meditation not to attain Nibbana, but to calm that moment. Yes, we need that. So I think the purpose, the higher purpose is Nibbana one day. But there is a daily purpose to calm down, to heal us, right? Because we need to heal sometime, right? Healing does not happen when we have too much things in our mind. So I would say the main purpose is attaining Nibbana, but there are some subsequent purposes during daily life. Yes, we need a sacred pause, I would call it, sacred pause. Small meditations, right? This idea was brought by Tara Batch, an Insight Society in US. But I think there is an emphasis on certain small things, like when you do the chores, when you do the dishes, it's a good meditation. That is not a meditation to attain Nibbana. You are such a very bothered person, very distracted person. Somebody says, hey, do the dishes. Why should I do it? Why can't you do the dishes? Right? But when you do the dishes, you have to, if you don't have a dishwasher, when you do the dishes, you feel like you have to rinse, wash, right? You see the stains on the plate. You can compare them to akusala. My mind is also like this. When you eat some oily food, you see that how much effort you have to put. You have to bring some vim, more vim, lot of stain stuff. Then you see, if I have some heavy akusalas, I will be like this. So when you do that, you can think about, that's a meditation. So somebody will be benefiting, right? Even sweeping the floor, even cleaning, spring cleaning is on the way, right, for you guys, New Year. And even taking a shower, even sleeping, even setting your bed, they all are small projects, small meditation. We need them, right? That is how we're going to progress in our practice. Once in a while, maybe time to time, you come for this kind of a retreat. Maybe you do it separately in your household. This kind of a very long, not a long, I would say, purposeful, Nibbana-based meditation, as Buddha said. Because your lay life should not be a mess. It has to be a smooth one. Then only you come for the Nibbana-bound meditation. Right? But if your house is a mess, you are looking to be Nibbana-bound, that's not going to work. Bhante, my neighbor dumps her rubbish at my corridor daily. So when I tell her nicely, the man or woman of that house attacks me with a weapon. It's pretty terrible. Rubbish and weapon. Since I'm so nice to them, despite they continues to cause damages. This is a legal line case on one side. On the other side, I feel maybe the person could have approached differently. Right? Sometimes when we want to approach people, we have to think some different ways. Right? And you say that you tell nicely. I don't know how nice did you talk to that lady. Some people need extreme nice, courteous way. But anyways, if you cannot work with them, can go for the legal line. That's one thing. Maybe think about some other ways to approach this person. The situation is not very much clear. What you say is that they put rubbish and you talk, and then he came up with a gun. This is what we can see. So there may be more information, Can you share your meditation experience from the time when you first started meditating, the stages that you experienced? What stage are you now? So are you enlightened now? What more you can wish in your journey? It's pretty private, huh? Yes, I've been meditating. I don't want to explain my stages, but I explain those 4 tetrads. That is my way. I feel that I am almost touching the 4th tetrad. So, yeah. Enlightenment part, let's leave it. Yes. In your day-to-day life, practicing our loving kindness to others, why there are always people taking advantage of our kindness for their benefit? I gain all their support from our hard work. So what shall we do since people think we are fools? Learn from that cobra. The cobra who was stacked up. Then the hermit said, you have to be smart. Right? If you had shown a little bit of aggression, that I could bite you, but I don't bite you. Sometimes you have to speak up. If you are going to be very silent at some places with some people, they're going to do more bad things to you. So you have to speak up. Right? You have to be vocal about it. Right? So that might stop the bad thing happening that much, in a way. But if you don't try to speak up, sometimes you have no choice. You will be affected by that person. So other people will think about us in different ways. I mean, they might still think that we are fools. It doesn't matter. But unless you are not bullied, attacked by them in a bad way, as a violence. So you have to show that your kindness is for those who really truly deserve that kindness, not for those who are not as such. But don't try to make a big issue, big scene. Try to understand how to cooperate with different people. Last question. You shared that when we passed away, the consciousness is super smart. It will find the suitable body to continue. Question. My limited understanding is when we passed away, our next rupa or destination is determined by our cumulative karmic energy. we don't really have control. Questions. Is the above understanding correct? No, I didn't say that this super smart consciousness zygote will do good things to you. I said energy wise, consciousness is so smart. Just because consciousness is so smart, consciousness has to work with what consciousness already has. It cannot go beyond of your karma. So cumulative karmas are the power behind that. But I said, when the consciousness is embedded in you, when you are living, and when it is gone away, consciousness becomes so powerful, so smart, when it is out of your body. But what is happening to you with the next rupa depends on what the consciousness carries within. It cannot take what is not in it. It only displays what it has. But it is smart when it is out. Right? We call it very genius. If yes, then why consciousness has the ability to choose? Yes, that is an inherent power of consciousness. Because now, if I ask you a question, how did you choose to be here? Did you choose? Not you chose. Your karmic cumulative are always being fluctuated, and it itself decides the location based on what it means to be. Otherwise, we not as people did not properly choose. We may have wishes, but only consciousness with the support of the cumulative support inside will be deciding, will be taking a hold of next rupa. How long does this transient consciousness has that ability in order to make a choice? It is not the super smart consciousness has that ability. It is the super smart, when the consciousness departs the body, consciousness is smart. But whatever the things that consciousness can do relates to what consciousness already has. Nothing what is beyond the consciousness. Let's say somebody passes away. Now consciousness is smart to go somewhere. But the acceleration, velocity, and then direction, being able to go to a good place, they all depend on what is inside the consciousness. That is your own good karmas. So it can go by passing what you didn't do. Only what you did in your life will be reflected through that smartness. Now don't be happy, huh? Some people might be, my consciousness will be super smart when I die. I mean, this is the nature, but it cannot do more things which the consciousness does not have. Consciousness will be smart, but what is going to happen to the consciousness will be dependent upon what consciousness has already within that. Because other people don't give me karma at that point. Only my karmas will be reflecting. If cannot find suitable rupa, then what will happen next? No, it will try to sing, it will try to pair. Once the conditions happen, it will pair to the right place. Right? You know, when you pair the gadgets, sometimes it won't be connected, synchronized, but it gives a lot of effort to find. But when the conditions are right, it will be synced, it will be paired. You are not in limbo by that time. You must go to a place. Because consciousness cannot stay alone. It must go to a rupa. Why is it? We are in the samsara. Only the consciousness of arahants, pacceka buddhas, samma sambuddhas, dissolves. Other consciousnesses must proceed to whatever the rupa. Right? All right. That's, yes. Yeah, supposed to be. The idea that the departed ones are, traveling for good karmas have to be understood that they already reborn actually. They became Peta already, animal, one of the hells. So people should understand that they are not anymore humans. Like the zombies, They are not zombies. They are already reborn in a place. They are reborn in a place. But what can happen is that when you give good karmas, they will again die and be reborn. Otherwise, they are not just traveling with that same body. They are human thoughts, right?
So basically, there's no point like Chinese tradition to learn this and that,
I don't know about it. You have to tell me. Well, I mean, different cultures have different ways. We respect all cultures, but you yourself can decide something for you. I leave that up to you. You all can? Yes.
So, but that is talking about Chinese tradition. But if as a Buddhist way, but we did do chanting.
No, all Buddhists have their own cultures. No Buddhist is exempt from cultures, isn't it?
If you follow,
Yeah, Buddha has Indian culture, Hindu culture. His name was given by Brahmins. Brahmins are the ones who interact with. So he had to incorporate into the Brahmins. He had the Indian Hindu culture. Sri Lankans have their Sri Lankan culture with Buddhism. Japanese have their Japanese culture with Buddhism. And then mainland Chinese people have their version of Malaysian Chinese they have their own version of Buddhism. So Burmese have their own version. So we don't have to worry about it. But at least we know the fundamental teachings of the Buddha. That is important. So don't mess up with the cultural stuff. just leave them. I mean, because not everybody can learn Dhamma. You know that? They will come and sit down. That nothing goes to the heart. Because not everyone is eligible to learn. If so, everybody will learn Dhamma. They have their karma problems, their other problems, reflection problems, right? I'm not discouraging you. I mean, that's why some people go to burn things, That is their belief. And they will be happy after that, right? Even in Hinduism, they do a lot of fire oblations to the Agni god, right? But when somebody enters into the path, he or she will find out what to do. Otherwise, we don't have to worry about things. Probably I understand, because of your Chinese culture, you entered the Buddhism too. Your ancestral practices. You have a lot of things that are similar to Buddhist practices. That is why you entered. If you didn't have that Chinese culture, you would not sometimes enter Buddhism, probably. So I think we have to look at these things differently. But when you understand this is not something that I feel not rationalized, then you can do your own way. But I still we have to respect all these cultures. That is how we all grown up. Yes. Yes. Compassion fatigue, yeah. How to reduce? Don't go to that compassion fatigue. If you try not to be so, in case it happens, that means you have mismanaged your compassionate practice. That means you have not done it properly. So, bullies have entered your life. Bad guys have entered your compassion. That means when you are compassionate, try to understand how to do it, how not to be vulnerable to the bad people. Right? There are people, when they see a very empathetic situation, they feel they are crying, It's good that, but when you go in to help, you have to be careful, You don't know what's going to happen after. Sometimes there are dangers going on. So before you help out somebody, yes, we have to have metta. In today's world, there are bad guys everywhere, in every industry. So we have to be careful. Do your own, trust your own gut feeling and use your third eye. And just to feel what's going on, Otherwise, if you just say, I have to practice karuna, I have to help everybody, there may be those guys, bad guys. So, we have to help bad people also in a way, but do not bring them to your intimacy. Then you will be going through a hard time. The worst thing that will happen is that you will stop being compassionate to everybody after that. That is the worst thing. Then you lose your life, you lose your health, you lose your whole spiritual life because you went to help to a bad guy. Then you destroy your life. That's why I'm saying be careful. Try to understand people and then to help being on that mindset. Don't destroy your good qualities, right? Just because you were with a bad person, right? All right. I think now we have come to the comments, retreat experiences. Would like you to share what you learned during these 2 days, so others can share their experiences too. Who would like to come and give your experiences? Yes, brother. Please come on up here. What have you learned? Has it been helpful to navigate your Dhamma path? Huh? Have you learned new things? Yeah, here. Everything is here now. This side. That time you were talking from that side. Now you are talking from this side. Okay.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Bhante, with your permission.
Thank you.
I really feel very fortunate this afternoon to say a few words. First thing first, a big thank you to Buddhist Mahavihara for hosting this wonderful experience that I a little bit able to receive. Just like the the current chief says, we learn slowly, and I'm still learning, and I'm extremely grateful to Bhante for the 2 days of two not very short, not very long Dharma sharing, and it all gels down to a very purposeful solution for my own personal use. I'm not sure what the other participants feel about it, but I'm extremely grateful, and I think this is one of the best versions that I have experienced so far. It took me a long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Others? Anybody wants to share? Yes, please.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Thank you very much indeed, Venerable. Bhante, I learned a lot of things. I mean, like for example, you know, the first half, the previous day was about anger, how to deal with anger. That's very useful. And what hit me was, before I came here, I have this problem, but I didn't know it. And until you mentioned this compassion fatigue, that's like, wow, that's exactly how I feel. You know? But I never thought about it. I always thought it's some kind of ill will, and I didn't have much feelings. And I like, what it is, you know? And you really put it, you just entered my head, and oh my God, this is it, you know? And it was really, really wonderful to understand inside me, you know, something I've been struggling with for 3 years. And that's so good. Thank you so much. Today also we learned so much from you that, you know, there are 11 ways to enter Nibbana, and it can start with just only the first jhana or with metta. You don't have to go through the 4 jhanas. I always given up hope on myself because I thought at this age, I'm not going to be able to sit those long hours which I hear people do, to enter 1, 2, 3, 4 jhana and then so on. I thought, next life already, not possible in this life. But, you've given me so much motivation. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Want to share anything? Thoughts? Yes, please. Better come here because it's recording
Good evening, Bhante. Good evening, all the brothers and sisters. Very happy to see most of you here. We learn a little bit different from what we used to do from Bhante Chandima. And I know he says so much on Pali words where we don't understand all. But that also gives us the motivation to learn that how much we know about Pali. Yes, we have heard the Bhante chanting, all the thing there, but we never make a point to want to learn word by word. So we only see the English version. So that is, I have seen, following your Sutta class, the Pali class, and now meditation class. So I'm very happy to learn and to open my mind how Bhante have related the Buddha's teaching, not just mere knowledge. You have to practice, really have to practice and practice. Otherwise, it is useless. But I also see my own kilesa, or especially when Bhante just say, keep the noble silence. But on the other hand, other people start talking. So what should I do? And we want to say, so hard I spend not to work, come here to do the meditation. And so that is also something, so we say, we have to bring in metta, we have to be, hearing, just hearing sound, you see? But we have many things to how to say, to deal with. Of course, ideally, yes, we also know we get metta, we got this, but we feel that we want to maybe achieve something or expect. I know we shouldn't have, but at least if we come here, we already make almost 48 hours to be here. And normal day, we are so busy, we can't dedicate all this time. So I hope in future, all the participants, I think if you all come here, sure you all want to learn something. And hope everybody should cooperate and everybody will progress. And when we say no talking, we shouldn't talk unless you really have issue. Thank you. Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, BMV, for giving us this place here. Thank you.
Bhante, brother and sister, I'm very honored to be here today, these 2 days, to learn about the mental impurities. Because actually, when Bhante revealed all these things, I was so ashamed of myself. Because it all started from the mind, from the 3 evil roads. We are easy to say that. But how it manifests in our life is spelled out on the 16th. It's so shameful. We can't even admit it. Now I saw it. It's really like Bhante taking a dirty laundry and shake it up for everybody to see. It's so shameful. But anyway, I'm glad to know about it. I'll be more mindful of it. And Bhante has already teach us how to approach it, to observe it, and what is the antidote to it. So I hope I will really know how to practice it in daily life. Okay, and then on another note, the shortcut to Nibbana. Like my sister said, the one Bhante say is really impressed me is the first jhana. That when you are in the first jhana, you just need to swift, what you call this, change your object. The object you just need to change to see the sankharas and even the intention. You contemplate on anicca, and we are on the way already to Nibbana. That is really a shortcut to me. Because what I did previously was, I thought we have to do the jhana, exit from it, and then go into vipassana. Like it's two different mental phenomena. But one Bhante said, it's in the same phenomena. It's in a combo set. You don't have the exit. From there, you can go. Wow, I'm so confident now. Okay, thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sukyoto Bhante, Sukyoto brother and sister. So from these 2 days, actually I learned from this Anapanasati meditation. So I learned how to refine my practice. So it did help me. The last sitting, it will be quite calm and peaceful. Yeah. So from the two Dhamma talk, it really gave me a new perspective about how to practice this metta. So, it used to the convention type, how we actually chant the Metta Sutta. You really have a deeper understanding. And of course, from this Upakalisa, also we know really detail of our Kalisa and how to overcome them. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're hearing different thoughts. Very interesting. How different people have benefited differently, not in the same way. That is happiness at the end of the retreat. So who would dare to share the experiences? Dare. Not just being self-happy. Air it out. No, Makkah, yeah, I don't think it's related. Yeah. Others? Yes, please.
Hi, good afternoon, Bhante. Good afternoon, brother and sister. I came to Vihara very long time ago, and I forgot about the whole scenario until I came back again. The whole experience has been very heartwarming. When I first arrived, there was a person that kind of figured out that I was new because I was kind of confused where to go. And when I arrived, the person showed me the puja hall. And after that, they showed me where to register, where to put my ticks. So I find very heartwarming. So very blessed to be coming here. And also very blessed to found the Facebook that I found Bhante. And so begin relearning some of my meditation practice. And also to have Bhante to offer his personal time, I find it also very heartwarming because normally it takes a lot of effort to to able to get personal consultation. So very, very grateful actually to be here. And also when we are meditating, everyone's energy was very collected and very peaceful. Yeah, despite everything, wish a little bit chat in here, but I noticed that everybody at the end is very peaceful and calm and happy. So I'm really, really happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Bhante, and good afternoon, brothers and sisters. For me, I appreciate this learning process because I'm like what Bhante quote earlier. I'm a bit of a rojak. I just learn here, learn there, and then I don't know how to put it to use in my life. So this, from the beginning, Bhante has put a lot of structure into the practice on how we want to approach the suttas, how we want to approach and use it and apply it in our daily lives. And even in the meditation, Bhante has taught that in daily lives, we can practice up to this extent, and then when we come to retreat, we can go further. So that has helped me a lot to align my life and how I want to practice. On the learnings, I appreciate the Pali teachings because this is the first time a teacher has taught me how to learn sutta through Pali. Yeah, and I did not know Pali can bring so much meaning to, one word can bring so much meaning, and it can help our practice so much. Also, Bhante shared a lot of stories from the suttas, which are some first time for me to learn. And it really, the examples are really very on point for me to relate. So I felt that I could understand like instantly what Bhante wanted to say. And for my practice here throughout these 2 days, on the Upakilesa, I managed to reflect and see some of it in myself. So I thought that was very important for me, and I felt very happy because so there's something I discover about myself and something that I can work on. So thank you so much, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you all the brother and sister for learning together. I attended Bhante's Dharma talk a few times, and it's always very inspiring. And Bhante's teaching is always have reference and traceable to Buddha's teaching. So this is especially useful for me, relatively new on the path of Theravada Buddhism. So I really appreciate. This is the first time I attend your retreat, and it's very compact and very useful, but I just find a bit too short. Yeah, so thank you also for my roommate sisters, they all, that also through the rest time, we discuss about the teaching of Bhante. So it is a lot of learning in these 2 days, and really appreciate all your teaching, sharing, and your wisdom in guiding us. Thank you.
Till somebody else comes up, I wanted to add something about Pali. Now, Pali has been demonized by certain people. Demonized in a way that we don't need to learn Pali. It is because of their laziness. And then they just based on translations. And today you see how many misunderstandings have brought up with these translations. So, we just use it as a reference too. Starting from that Kukkutarama, right? Chicken feet temple. Now, when somebody who does not see the Pali text will just go by that translation. Even the Karaniyametta Sutta's translation, the Buddha said, Kamesu Vinaya Gedam, having removed the greed in regard to the karma, not having removed the karmas. So see the problem. So you have to understand that if you really want to learn some Dhamma, one day your plan is to think in Pali, not to learn Pali. Think in Pali. Because Buddha thought in Pali. Buddha didn't think in English. Buddha did not think in English. Buddha thought in Pali. Then if we really want to understand what he is saying, we have to learn some Pali. No lame excuses. That is what we are doing. Otherwise, we could go by translations, not talk about these Pali words. Then you will be more complicated. Every retreat will be a complication to you. Today, if something hit in your life, that I have learned something new, that something is not acquired in my life, there's something like a lacuna, like a missing point, and today you learn it is because you haven't learned Buddhism with some Pali basis. You must learn it. Otherwise, you will get stuck in so many people's translations. Psychologists translation Buddhism in psychological ways. Environmentalists translate in their environmentalist way. Engineers translate in an engineer understanding. Doctors translate in neurological way. So they translate by thinking this could be the good thing. So it's very essential that you need to learn some important Pali context. I don't think that you should go to a Pali class. That might not work for you. It's a language. But at least you should learn the context of Pali. Then you know, this is what the Buddha thinks, Buddha talks about. So this retreat will lay the foundation for you to learn some Pali. Not another retreat. This will lay the foundation for this journey. Not another retreat that you attended, just for meditation. So keep that in mind and work on it. It's a journey. Yes. All right, any others? Now, I always share something about learning Pali context. Now, one thing is a simple translation. Evam mesutang ekang samayam bhagava. Now, this phrase has a couple words. Samaya, S-A-M-A-Y-A. Samaya has 9 meanings in Pali. The word Samaya itself. So how would you understand this? How would you understand the Pali text then? But you want to learn the sutta in English. How do you know whether the sutta was properly translated? So most of the suttas have been wrongly read. The sources have been wrongly read by many people. Let me tell you one good example. There is a sutta in Anguttara Nikaya. This is called Roga Nidana Sutta. Roga means illness. So, in this sutta, there are you see many translations by many people. Now, many translations go by in a way that if you haven't attained enlightenment, Sotapanna or Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahan, especially become an Arahan, you all are mentally sick people. This is the translation. If you haven't attained Nibbana, then you are a mentally sick person. So the true Pali text goes by that it is hard to find someone in the worldly life who is free from akusalas. So there may be people. Hard does not mean there is no person. right? Dullabha. The word dullabha means it's hard to find. Not there is no. So see the translations that have gone. This is one very good example. So many issues with translations. So that's why it's very important to learn, actually. Now, even the sutta we discuss for our today's morning talk, Attaka Nagara Sutta. And this sutta clearly says even first jhana is enough. Even metta is enough. But if you ask from a speaker, they would say no. You must have practiced 4 jhanas, 8 jhanas, because they haven't found this sutta. So what is going to happen? Then you're going to again get disillusioned, because just because someone didn't read the sutta, you have to be disillusioned just the way they are. That's why I'm saying you have to read, you have to search, look for more references. Then you will understand where is the problem, what is the real understanding of the Buddha's teachings. Any other thoughts? Yes, please.
First of all, I'd like to thank Bhante for your teachings. I think being a Malaysian, I think Buddhism in Malaysia is always very large. I think geographically, I think we are very close to Thailand and Myanmar. So the monk, the teacher have been teaching here all this while. And being a descendant of the migrant from China, so we bring along also the subcultural part of the Buddhism. And recently also, not recently, I think we have seen Japanese Buddhism over here, and some cult or they claim to be Buddhisms from Taiwan or thing like that, and they are basically just after people's money, which actually is quite sad. Sometimes we have a friend who actually follow that, And then recently also we have some Vietnamese plums village, so they have some center here. So you can see that there's so many varieties of so many traditions in Malaysia. So we are glad that Theravada is quite strong, and with the late Reverend who set up Buddhist Mahavihara, and a lot of Theravada's center actually set up, spring up from here. And for today's retreat, I'm glad that Bhante actually introduced this Vatupama Sutta, something that we didn't know that there's Upakalisa, there's 16 of them. Before this, I always thought that Kalisa is only Lobha, Dosa, and Avijja. So a lot of minor things that we did. Almost we did it every day. I think our skill life about getting more competitive. We do a lot of other Upakalisa that we always justify it probably not fall under the main tree, probably not so bad. Especially like
I want
mana.
I want to disturb you. Now, he's pointing a very good point, actually, making. Now, many of you only know Lobha, Dosa, Moha. Actually, the real way how these Lobha, Dosa, Moha work is Upakilesa. You won't see Lobha, Dosa, Moha separately. You see Abhijja, which is part of Lobha. So the actual workings of Lobha, Dosa, Moha work under the 16 Upakilesas.
Right, yeah. Especially like mana, atimanas, and mada, we probably do it every day. It happened to us, but we probably think that it's not so bad. It's not really in the
because they don't see it under Lobha, Dosa, Moha.
Yeah.
That's why. But they are under Lobha, Dosa, Moha.
Precisely. And then we thought that before I learned this sutta, I was thought that probably this is really mentioned by Buddha 2,600 years ago. That means that's really bad. There's something that we have to pay attention to. Last time we always justify like mana, because of everyone do that, it's not so bad. But now you say that 2,600 years ago, Buddha did mention that, which is I think we do it almost on a daily basis. That means something that we should actually pay attention to. It is really bad. So I'm really appreciative of the way Bhante teach. Even in the sutta class, we always make reference to the sutta. Pali Sutta, that we can immediately make reference, especially with the technology, we can Google and immediately and we can read it ourselves, let's say we couldn't follow. This is something we really appreciate, because sometimes a lot of teachers, sometimes they teach, it's very rude for us to ask the teacher, what is your source?
Can you please not talk? Yes, you are the one who is suggesting not to talk. Yes. Please, keep your voice to a minimum.
Being Asians, we find it very rude to ask a teacher, hey, what is your source? But for Bhante, you just give us a source. We don't even need to ask. So I think that's very, very refreshing. We hope Bhante will come here more often to teach, especially we know that Sri Lankan traditions are very strong in Sutta. And this is something that we are a bit lacking in Malaysia. We hope that everything we can refer back to the Sutta, the original teaching of the Buddha, where I think that should be the authority. There should not be any argument about it. That should be what recorded, I think, for 2,600 years until now.
We have to still go for the inquiry. But as a set of books, yes, Sri Lankan tradition,
Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to say about the herd mentality that you said. Herd mentality, like you getting affected by how others think. Yes, more or less. At the same time, you brought up Theravada. Actually, the suttas that we understand by Diga, Majjhima, Samyutta, Anguttara are not Theravada. They are early Buddhism. All right? They are early Buddhism. So when you say Theravada, it includes Kuddaka Nikaya, Abhidhamma, and Attakatha, and Tika, Pali commentaries and Pali sub-commentaries. So now it has plague. Everything has been plagued in a sense that this is Theravada. Theravada is one Hinayana school, and other Hinayana schools have died out, like Sarvastivada and all that. So we have to learn early Buddhism, not Theravada. Now those people who go to Abhidhamma class to learn Buddhism and then to look at suttas, they are in a big trouble, trust me. Because they have started the journey in the wrong place. Abhidhamma is a clear defense about suttas. So you won't see anything about the worldly life. Do you see anything about worldly life, how to become a good layperson in Abhidhamma? You never see that. It's a book that fixes the small, minor or major paradoxes, implications that are in the suttas. We don't need to defend. So we just look at suttas. So Diga, Majjhima, Samyutta, Anguttara are early Buddhism, which means the common basis to Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana. Right? That's why some people don't like in the West that don't call that this is a Theravada Vihara. Then you are limiting yourself to a certain dogmatic, conservative tradition. We normally say Buddhist Vihara. What if this Vihara was to be Buddhist Theravada Mahavihara? I don't think it doesn't reflect Buddhism at that point. Right? It is Buddhist Vihara. We are Buddhists, not Theravada Buddhists. You would call it. But now when you understand teachings, it is Buddhism. Right? Because this early Buddhism is what gave paved way to all the other small schools. So what I am teaching, all of these are early Buddhism, not Theravada. Theravada means Kuddaka Nikaya and Abhidhamma. Right? If you go to Burma, it's more about Abhidhammic teachings. Yeah. So we have to make the distinguish the difference between these things. Yes. Abhidhamma, well, Buddha always says, my Dhamma and Vinaya. When I pass away, my Dhamma and Vinaya will be your teacher. He did not appoint a successor, right? So the monks were very worried about, so who will be our teacher? No, I am not appointing anybody. There were a lot of arahants, right? He said, your Dhamma Vinaya will be your teacher. Then Dhamma, what is Abhidhamma? Buddha did not call something called Abhidhamma, right? So Abhidhamma has all the sutta teachings. They have defended more about those sutta teachings. They have added certain technical framework to the suttas. For example, they talk about 89 thoughts or 121 thoughts. Buddha never talked 89 thoughts, right? Then then it, okay, very good example. Then Abhidhamma says that our sansara consciousness, the one that departs when you pass away, it lies in the heart. We call it Hadevattu in Abhidhamma. Not in the heart, actually. They say it associates the blood in the heart. That means you might see that there's a open heart surgery. The heart is taken out of the body, and the doctors are, cardiovascular surgeons are doing their operations. Now, no problem, because there has certain blood going around the heart that was taken out. They say our mind, what you call sansaric, bhavanga consciousness, always stays around the blood in the heart. But in the suttas, Buddha says, Durangamang ekacharang asarirang, mind has no place in the body. This is a paradox, doctrinal conflict. Abhidhamma wanted to locate like a circuit, like if you see the back of this laptop, you see lots of circuits going on. What you call mapping, layout. So they said that we can what you call use a technical framework to Dhamma. We cannot do that actually in some places, but they did it just to protect the Dhamma. So it's better to learn Sutta first. I think even to learn Sutta takes time. I don't think you have lots of time to come to talks and learn and then practice with all your daily things, right? So I think better you should focus on suttas, early suttas. Because when you go to Abhidhamma, you will feel that Dhamma is a technical framework in the first place. Now, I have studied very well about Abhidhamma, I have given talks, but when I talk to people, I am recommending them suttas. Not all the suttas, very important suttas that are very helpful in your Dhamma journey. In there also, you don't have time to read all these suttas. Plus, never read suttas online all alone. Huh? You will get wrong. Always consult a teacher. There was one man who called one of my resident temples in Canada. He said, Bhante, I already finished reading Sutta Pitaka and Abhidhamma. Can I read Vinaya Pitaka too? The monk said, no, don't read Vinaya Pitaka. I mean, there are people who would like to self-read. So don't do that, because suttas have different meaning, different context. So you will misunderstand. What you will read these wrong translations, right? This is what you're going to read, not the Pali. Definitely you will be stuck, right? Now one very good example, this happened a couple months ago. Somebody who asked me a question after going to a sutta study. The speaker has explained Anatha Pindikovada Sutta. What is this? The sutta that was given to Anatha Pindika when he was going to die. Who gave it? Arahant Sariputta. Anatha Pindika banker sent a message to Jethanarama, I want Bhante Sariputta to come to my house. He didn't ask the Buddha to come. Then when Arahant Sariputta came, he gave a very interesting Dhamma talk about Vedana. Then he said, I have a bad migraine, my body is so aching, I cannot, take this pain. Then Arahant Sariputta knew he has enlightened to a certain extent, so I can give a very precious Dhamma talk, higher Dhamma talk to him. How did he give? He said, pain is anicca, pain is not you, isn't it? Like let's say I have pain in my leg. You call it, this is my pain, this is not my pain, because I carry a body. The body has the pain. It's not my pain. You make it your pain. Right? Then somebody will ask, who is experiencing pain? Isn't it you? So that's a conventional point. Right? But actually, because we have a breakable body, the pain arises. Then he said to Anatha Pindika, dear Anatha Pindika, now you think, this pain is not yours. Don't relate pain to you, I me myself, and then think that just because the body, the pain arises, pain stays, pain keeps coming. So you have to focus that way. This will change. Then the speaker has asked people to think about this analogy when they're going to die. When lay people, when everybody going to die, please think about this analogy. I said, this is not going to work for lay people, because this Anatha Pindika is already an enlightened person. So he can understand, he can do it. If you're going to do, you will have lots of hatred. Why me? Why do I have pain here? Your mind is not that developed. So I said, what you are supposed to practice is satipatthanas. 4 satipatthanas. Then the person asked me, Bhante, what to do when I die? I said, do you know when you die? That's a very ridiculous Dhamma talk topic. Huh? How to die mindfully. Right? How do we know when we're going to die? I said, we never know these XYZ details about our death. But what we know is, it's a pre-practice. Pre-practice for the death is practicing satipatthanas over time. Then you will die somewhere in your time, then you will die with satipatthanas. Not that you know that you're going to die, so where is my satipatthana? At that time, you won't be able to go to satipatthana because you are not that strong. The time that you're going to die, you will be less strong in terms of Dhamma knowledge, what you call application part. That's why we need a very elevated, deepened, sustained practice. A practice that has been there for some time, long term. Right? That is how you will end this life peacefully with satipatthanas. But that way, the sutta discussion which was done by somebody, I want to say his name, said everybody should practice this when you're going to die. What a bad advice is that? It's not given in the sutta. That's why we have to be very careful. When you learn Dhamma, you have to learn from a good teacher. How do you know it's a good teacher? You have to follow some time. Whether what they say are really in line with the Dhamma text. We have to understand. Otherwise, you will misunderstand. I know you don't stop at that place. You go home, you phone other people, say, when you die, focus on the pain, nah? Who said that? Our teacher told. Then that person phones another person. So it's like corona, you know. Everybody is affected after that. Wrong information. It's a misinformation factory. That's why whoever you're going to learn with, find out a good teacher and then learn. Because you don't want to be misinformed, misunderstood. You don't want to spread the misinformation. Yeah. That's one very good example. Anathapindika Vada Sutta. It's coming up. Maybe, I haven't thought yet. Satipatthana Sutta is a very wide area. So maybe we have to choose Kayanupassana for one retreat. Maybe Vedananupassana for one. It's a huge topic. It's not that we just want to learn the knowledge of Satipatthana. We need the practice area of the Satipatthana Sutta. So maybe, yeah, I can think of it. Yes. Now, even in the Satipatthana Sutta, you have to be careful because there are things like 9 charnel ground contemplations. That means at that time, a dead body is left in an open cemetery. Now, this is not going to relate to us. Right? Then some people are trying to buy a skeleton, artificial skeleton, and hang it in the room. Then I asked one person, what are you doing? I am looking at the skeleton. Right? Then I said, this Asubha, 31, Satipatthana Sutta does not have the brain. Girimananda Sutta has the brain, Mattalunga, 31 body parts. This 31 body parts meditation was recommended for certain lustful person, people who have lots of lust, sexual, sensuality. It's too much, high. So for those people, this is recommended, not for other people. Because I saw that somebody was recommended this meditation, which that person is not that kind of sensuous. Ever since she learned that, she started hating the family. Because then I asked why? Because I see my father as a skeleton, mother as a skeleton. See? This is ridiculous too. You should stop this. Because she has been doing very well before. Anapanasati, a teacher changed the meditation. I said, stop, go back to the Anapanasati. So it's like a antibiotic, antibiotics are not given for long term, right? It will kill your good bacteria, right? So doctors know the certain duration. So it's like Asubha is not, that's why even Satipatthana Sutta's practices, you have to consult a good teacher who has a wide understanding about how these exercises going to work for each person differently. Otherwise, you might think, I start from Anapanasati tomorrow, what is that? Iriyapata meditation, day after Sampajanya, then Dhatu Manasikara, Navasivatika, Patikkula Manasikara, right? I mean, there are so many exercises, so you don't have to. I mean, the teacher has to have a good knowledge of you, how you think, how you behave, then he can recommend the appropriate meditation. So thereby you don't need to hang skeletons, huh? You don't have to. Yes. No, Asubha is not for anybody, not particularly for lay people or monks. It's for certain individuals under a certain, in your word, prescription. So the teacher has to understand whether this person has lots of lust. That is what we understand from it. Just because you see a skeleton, I don't think you will hate your wife or husband. I don't think so. Then what about those doctors who are doing a lot of biopsy, right? All those things. I don't think. Even those embalming people. I think it's particularly given to certain monastics and certain lay people who cannot get over their lust. Some people cannot. So they must be given that kind of a high dose meditation, like Asubha. It's a high dose, not for everybody. Now, without knowing this, somebody is going to read online Dhamma and going to practice by buying a skeleton. What's going to happen? It's going to be a mess at the end. All right, so what happened to the comments? Yes. Yes, please. Sister Ansuvi, also my online student, Thursday class. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Brothers and sisters, we are indeed very blessed to have come to know Bhante Chandima. I come to know Bhante Chandima when I listened to his sutta study on YouTube, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Yeah. When I listened to his sutta teaching, I was so impressed, I told myself, I wish I could meet this Bhante personally. And sure indeed, my aspiration came true. When I listened to the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, just one word, Kama Sukha Lika Nuyogo, Bhante explained it for 2 days. 2 days, indeed. It is very good. The way Bhante explained each word is in such detail, We know the word Bhagawa as the Blessed One, but Bhante explained it in such detail that I come to realize that to say the word Bhagawa give me this inspiration, how much I must pay respect to the Buddha. For these 2 days, I learned a lot, Bhante. I've been practicing meditation for many years, but today I really know, I don't really know my own kilesas. Now I realize it. Now I know how important it is to reflect on our kilesas. And also, I must be very grateful to Sister May Yap, for introducing me to Patti Soda.
Thank you.
Yes, and this is how I get into learning Sutta online with Bhante and doing the meditation, morning meditation. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you. Sister Mayap has been a regular student at my online Pali reading class, which I call OPRC, for some time. Actually, it's a class where I have to mention about it. I have this class for almost 6-7 months now, from June last year. My original plan that I wanted to do was not to teach Pali, because there are a lot of Pali classes which people go and then messed up later. Because when it becomes a language, then you learn language. We don't need to teach you language, it's a language. So I wanted to teach people who are interested in the Dhamma that the required Pali context, that they want to understand the Buddha's Dhamma. That is my intention. And then I made it to a chanting class, more or less, just to spice up. Then now there are many people who can chant well. So one day I am planning to have a chanting group. Now there are lots of chanters, that chanter, this chanter. Because they can chant well now. I feel like, looking at last 5-6 months, I let them chant. They always tell me, Bhante, Bhante will never listen to our chanting. We normally listen to Bhante's chant. But you let us chant and then you correct our chanting. So it's a good thing. So they learn the chanting first for the first 40 to probably 35-40 minutes, and then they learn the certain Pali context, things like I today shared with you, like those erroneous places, issues, and they learn. So it's a class about learning the required Pali, not Pali grammar, basically. Not nominals, accusative, how to decline, how to conjugate. That's not my focus. That's not your focus too, I understand. Otherwise, you might learn, Vanaru Rukhamha Patati. Monkey fell from the tree, We don't have to learn that, Monkey can fall from the tree. But that's not our focus. Now we learn, Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. I go to the Buddha as refuge. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Right? I refrain from taking other person's lives. And we see what is Vedamani, what is Sikkhapadam. So that kind of an approach, which is very good for people to learn. Then when next time when they chant, this is Appagabbu, Appagabbu. Gabba means swollen, Appa means less swollen. That comes to your mind. But when you learn Appagabbu, prudent, what is that? Prudent. You don't get it, right? Then a lot of translations go like that, you never know the proper meaning, right? Even if you take, for instance, Uju Suju, Karaniya Matta Kusalena, Yantang Santam Padang Abhisamecha, Sakko, Uju Suju. Translations go by straight and more straight. What? What is straight? What is more straight? That's a very ridiculous translation. The Buddha said that is the straightness in your body and speech and the straightness in your thoughts. It's pretty clear. So we are learning such things. So you have a pretty good knack about, good sense of what these Pali words mean in their entirety, not the half translation, not the provisional, self-opinionated, Protestant, English, all English translations. So we understand them in the proper Pali background. Try to learn the Buddha's thoughts, Buddha's ideas from Buddha's Pali. We call it Magadhi language. There's no language called Pali. The name of this language is Magadhi, not Pali. What happened then? There's no language called Pali. If you are a scholar, you never call it Pali. You call it Magadhi. Magadhi means the vernacular in the state of Magadha. There was a state called Magadha, Magadha, Kosala, Vatsa, Avanti, the 4 republican states at the Buddha's time. So the language that was used by the Magadhians was called as Magadhi. And the Magadhi language has 2 sections. One is pure Magadhi, other one is half Magadhi. Pure Magadhi was the Buddha's one, Ardha Magadhi was the Jain's one, Mahavira's one. Then what is Pali? Pali is a word in the Magadhi dictionary to mean text, the Buddha's Dhamma Vinaya. Later on, this word replaced the language name. But there is no language called Pali. If you are a scholar, scholar-wise, you can't say that in conferences. Because scholars already know this update. They will say, no, you haven't studied that area then. But as a practitioner, we will call it Pali. Yes, that's what you know. Like mindfulness. I don't call it mindfulness, but I have to call it mindfulness because people don't know what it is. Yeah, Sati. Yes, please. We are almost in the last 20 minutes of our retreat. Yeah.
Good afternoon to Bhante. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. What I've learned today is through the interview just now, which I have been doing on the Anapanasati. And probably I thought I have done the right one because I've been following. And I've been focusing my breath on the tip of the nose or whatever. But but I think it's very important that we need to get a teacher who knows about Pali and who well-versed, actually, not only to know, to well-versed. And I got to know today that actually the technique on Anapanasati is actually to focus on the whole face. It's not on breath by itself. And I also learned one word is that because I've been controlling my breath instead of looking at my breath. And this is the thing that I need to correct myself because I've been controlling my breath as my habit. So I find I don't go anywhere. Although I can get a time where I can feel a bit peace, at a time, maybe a glimpse of non-thoughts, but then that's it, I couldn't get back that. Yeah. And I've been counting my breath, so so that's why I hope that Bhante will also teach Satipatthana, and because Anapanasati is one of the main, because what I know from the sutta is, when, I'm not sure whether it's correct or what, I just want that to be clarified, yeah. I heard from a talk says that when Buddhas have attained enlightenment, before enlightenment, he has been using Anapanasati. After enlightenment, he also used Anapanasati. So basically, Anapanasati is what he emphasized in meditations, because this is what he did before and after. So I'm not sure whether this is the correct information that I have, but there's a lot of meditation things. You need to focus on one tips. You need to focus on this nose here. You need to focus inside the nose, the nostril. So until today that I got to know is actually it's not the nose, but the whole face. Which I truly appreciate on that clarifications. Otherwise I'll be going around the circle and wasting my time. Yeah. So it's a blessing that I got to know Chandima through my novitiate, Bhante. Yeah, Bhante. Thank you for correcting me. Bhante Chandima through the novitiate program. So I was quite blessed in the sense that, very truly blessed, got so many Bhantes actually coming help us during the novitiate programs. And thanks to Buddhist Mahavihara, no doubt previously I just come and just pay respects to Buddhas, statues, all these things, but later on I find that that is not an important thing. The most important is the heart that is inside me, what Buddha's teaching is all about. Yeah, the practice of Buddha's teaching is the most important part. It's not the devotion may be a part, but it's in the heart that we practice what Buddhas have. Going through a very pathway, hard way, and actually he gave us a formula, the books, and we just follow the formulas. That's it. So thank you, Bhante, so I hope that you can arrange for the Satipatthana course. And by the way, Bhante, you mentioned that you have these online courses. How to join? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Before that, yeah, please respect. Finish. Okay. Before that, I would like to touch on certain things you mentioned about the focus of the breath. That's pretty interesting. Who says to pay attention to the nostrils? Maybe the tummy, the belly. They are all in the certain style of meditation that was started in 18th century. So then we have to learn how did the Buddha exactly explain about the Anapanasati. Then we have to go to the suttas, either Satipatthana suttas, either Satipatthana Sangyutta in the Sangyutta Nikaya, or Girimananda Sutta. The suttas are clearly about how to, where to focus. Ujung kayang panidhaya parimukang sating upattapet. Ujung kayang, kaya means body, uju. Keep your body upright. That's a requirement. Ujung kayang panidhaya parimukang sating upattapetva. Bring your attention in front of your face. Then who said to watch the tummy, the belly?
Don't know.
Somebody might have thought this is good. Actually, as I said that if you want to watch the rise and fall of the tummy, you must have a big tummy, like the laughing Buddha, right? So that is not given in the text. But you might feel it might help in a way, but it was not given, right? Nostrils, they were given by the Attakatha, Pali commentaries. Mukha samipeva nasikagge. Nasika means nose, agge means tip of the nose. It was an Attakatha, Pali commentary, mostly Visuddhimagga. So don't read these books in the first place. Go to the suttas. The path of purification, they are written by monks at a later time. You can read if you want, but not in the first place. So it's very important to study how did the Buddha exactly say these things. That is why we are learning them.
Yeah. Isn't that Visuddhimagga also mentioned about Vipassana meditations?
Yeah.
Which is not correct?
Well, here's the thing. Visuddhimagga was written in Sri Lanka, right? So then by that time, there was another book written by a Sanskrit monk, Upatissa, for the Abhayagiri tradition. This is Mahavihara, called Vimutti Marga in Sanskrit. So the Mahavihara monks wanted to challenge this book, Vimutti Marga. So they asked the South Indian monk Buddhadatta, Bhante Buddhadatta, to come to Sri Lanka. They all are South Indians from Madras, called Chennai. Okay. So then the Bhante Buddhadatta went, and then he was given the chance, but he could not, because originally all the Pali commentaries were in Sinhala language. All the Pali commentaries were in Sinhalese. Then they asked to translate from Sinhalese into Pali. They were not originally in Pali. So he said he could not do it. So he went back. And then Bhante Buddhaghosa came in as a disciple of Buddhadatta, Bhante Buddhadatta. And he translated those Sinhala commentaries into Pali. And then we never know what happened to those Sinhala works. No, I understand. If the Sinhala works were there, then we could have seen something little original than the Pali ones at that time. But anyways, they are very later things. So better to focus on the early suttas like Satipatthana Sutta and Satipatthana Samyutta for understanding these subjects. That's what I'm doing. So for my classes, Monday, yes, I conduct a class here at BMV in person. When I'm not in Malaysia, I do it online. That class has gone up to Sabbasava Sutta actually, almost, the second Sutta. And Tuesday, I recently started another Sutta class, they call it Sutta Discovery. BGF requested me to conduct. That is a very brand new class. I just passed 2 weeks. It's a big class actually, over like almost like 200 people actually. And then that is Tuesday. Then Thursday, I have that Pali class, online Pali reading class, chanting and Pali context. Friday, I've been doing the longest Sutta class so far. I started a Sutta class in 2022 March for Tiratana Vihara Klang. Now I've been actually taking up Pattakama Sutta. It's a Sutta, I took it after all these Suttas. And yeah, that's pretty much about the Suttas. And I have a meditation class every Sunday, like what I did today morning, every Sunday on Zoom, 6 to 7 a.m. Yeah, a lot of classes. Yes. All right, time is mostly up. I can give one other person to come and comment, and we will do the chanting and sharing the good karma. And also, I need to give you the 5 precepts. If you, those who want to keep the precept, you can keep, but others can take the 5 precepts. Anybody else? Maybe we can ask Sister Ho to come. Yes. Yes.
I don't know what to say, Bhante call. But anyway, thank you, Bhante, and thank you, everyone, especially the volunteers, especially the organizers who has made this happen. Without them, we cannot piece Bhante here. We don't have a venue. We don't have aircon. Many, many little things has been put in place. Me, as a participant, I came to reap the benefits. And this, I must say, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. Yes, yes. That's a short thank you and a long thank you. So it covers. It's good. All right. Now we don't have time actually for the chanting. You want to say something very quick? Okay. Okay. Say something very quick. Yeah, please.
I'd like to thank you for all participants and all persons in this thing, empowering me with a fellowship and as well as inspiration to how to proceed onward with my Metta Sutra, the Kandahar Sutra especially. So thank you so much, everybody. It's been nice knowing all y'all during these few days. Okay.
He showed me an interesting set of notes about Kanda Paritta. I mentioned about that monk who was bitten by the snake.
Yes.
And he's asking me at the end of this sutta, there are some interesting stuff. When you want to send metta, you have to know who are the animals who don't have a lot of feet, who have more feet. Apadakehi me mettang. Mettang, who are the animals who have 2 feet, who have many feet. And then he asked me a good question. He asked, so okay, yeah, yes. Normal questions. Why is the sutta only extended to 7 Buddhas? I said they are last Buddhas. Vipassi, Sikhi, Vesabu, Kakusanda, Konagama, Kas. These are the 7 Buddhas. Yes. Normally, some of the suttas were they talk about 7 Buddhas, not only Gautama Buddha. So we understand then the sutta is very old, maybe older than Gautama Buddha sometimes, some suttas. That's why they talk about these 7 Buddhas. You see this in the Atanati Sutta too. Very interesting observation.
Yes.
Keep on.
Yes.
Keep
Thank
on
you,
studying.
everybody. Sadhu to everyone. Yes, sadhu,
Yes,
sadhu, everyone.
encourage
Yes.
you.
And then.
All right, now we're going to do the chanting. That is another sutta. Attavisati Buddhavan. It's supposed to be. Supposed to be, yes. Yes, there are 28 Buddhas. All right. Actually, there must have been a lot of Buddhas. They only take it as 28, the last 20. All right, participants, we are going to chant a sutta. We'll chant Ratana Sutta to bless all of us and then go to the transference. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today be a blessing, be a guiding light to us. May we always create more blessings by practicing, by learning. Let's wind up our 2-day mindful, fruitful retreat by chanting the Ratana Sutta. All right. Yeah. By the power of this chanting, by the blessings of this chanting, may all your sicknesses go away, may all your fears go away, may all your pains go away. May you always be well and happy. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Bijja charana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussana buddho bhagavati Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko ehi passiko opanaiko pancantang veditambu binyuhiti supatipanno bhagavatu savaka sangho ujupatipanno bhagavatu savaka sangho nyaya patipanno bhagavatu savaka sangho samici patipanno bhagavatu savaka Yadidang chattari purisa yugani atta purisa pungala esa bhagavatu savaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo anutterang punyang kettang lokassati etena sacca vanjena Patu tvang ratanantayang etena sacca vanjena Patu tvang ratanantayang etena sacca vanjena Patu tvang ratanantayang Ratana Sutta Yanidha bhutani samagatani bummani vaya nivang talinke sambeva bhuta sumana bhavantu atupi sakkacca sunantu bhasitang tasmahi bhutani sameta sabbe mettang karota manusiya pajaya Divaca rattoca haranti bali තස්මාහිනේ රක්කත අප්පමන්තා යංකින්චි විත්තං ඉදවාහුරං වා සංඝේසු වායං රතනං පනීතං නනෝ සමං අත්ති තථාගතේන ඉදම්පි බුන්දේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කයං විරාගං අමතං පනීතං යදජ්ජගා සක්්‍ය නතේන ධම්මේන සමත්ති කිංචි ඉදම්පි ධම්මේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යං බුද්ධ සෙට්ටෝ පරිවන්නයේ සුචින් සමාධිමානං තරිකඤ්ඤමාහු සමාධිනාතේන සමෝන විච්ඡති ඉදම්පි ධම්මේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන යේ පුංගලා අට්ඨ සතං පසත්තා චත්තාරියේතානි යුගානි හොන්ති තේ දක්ඛිනෙය්‍යා සුගතස්ස ශාවකා ඒතේ සුදින්නානි මහප්පලානි ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේ සුප්පයුත්තා මනසා දල්හේන නික්ඛාමිනෝ ගුත්තම සාසනම්හි තේ පත්තිපත්තා අමතං විගයිහ ලද්ධා මුධා ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යටින්ද කීලෝ පඨවින් සිතෝසියා චතුම්බි වාතේ අසම්පකම්පියෝ තතූපමං සප්පුරිසං වදාමි යෝ අරිය සංචානි අවෙච්ච පස්සති ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන යේ අරිය සච්ඡානි විභාවයන්ති ගම්භීර පඤ්ඤේන සුදේසිතානි කිංචාපිතේ හොන්ති බුසප්පමත්තා නතේ භවං අට්ඨමං ආදියන්ති ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු සහ වස්ස දස්සන සම්පදාය තයස්සු ධම්මා ජහිතා භවಂತಿ සක්කාය දිට්ඨි විචිකිච්ඡිතංච සීලම්බතං වාපි චතුහ පායේහි ච විම්පමුත්තෝ චචාබිතානානි අබබ්බෝ කාතුම් ඉදම්පි සංඝේ සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝත් කිංචාපිසෝ කම්මං කරෝති පාපකං කායේන වාචා උදචේතසාවා අබම්බෝසෝ තස්ස පටිච්ඡාදාය අබම්බතාදිට්ඨ පදස්ස ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වනප්ප ගුම්බේ යථා පුස්සිතංගේ ගිම්හාන මාසි පඨමස්මින් ගිම්හි තතූපමං ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි නිම්බානගාමින් පරමං හිතාය ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වරෝ වරඤ්ඤු වරදෝ වරාහරු අනුන්තරෝ ධම්ම වරං ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කීනං පුරාණං නවං නත්ති සංභවං විරත්ත චින්තා ආයතිකේ භවස්මින් තේකීන බීජා අවිරුල් හිච්ඡන්දා නිම්බන්ති දීරා යථායන් පදීපෝ idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena Yanida bhutani samagatani bummani vaya niva angtalinke tathagatang deva manussa pujitang buddhang namassam suwatti hotu yanida bhutani samagatani bummani vaya niva angtalinke තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං ධම්මං නමස්සාම් සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායා තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං සංඝං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන දුංඛා වූප සමෙන්තුතේ ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන බයා වූප සමෙන්තුතේ ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන රෝගා වූප සමෙන්තුතේ Asinsana, the stanzas that are followed by Sambhitiyo vivanjantu sambarogo vinasatu mate bhavan vantarayu sukhi digayuko bhava bhavatu sambha mangalang rakkantu sambha devata Sambha buddhanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sambha mangalang rakkantu sambha devata Sambha dhammanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sambha mangalang rakkantu sambha Sambha sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te nakkanta yakha bhutanang papangha nivarana parittassanubhavena hantu te sang upandave devo vassatu kalena sassa sampatti hotu ca Pito bhavatu lokocha Raja bhavatu dhammiko te Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Is there anyone who is going to keep the precepts? Keep the 8 precepts? Even from now onwards? Then you don't need to take the 5 precepts. Others who want to terminate the program now, did you get what I mean? Are you going to continue 8 precepts until tonight? Then you don't need to take 5 precepts. But if you are going to terminate, as usual with our timing, you can take the 5 precepts. Others don't need, na? Keep your practice. Okay, in order to close our retreat, finish our retreat, I'm going to give those ones 5 precepts. If you want to take 5 precepts, so please say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please say Namo Tassa 3 times to pay homage to Buddha. Buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Sanghang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. 5 precepts. Panati pata viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinnādāna viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kāmesu miccācārā viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majjapama dattana viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Moving on to the transference of merits and sharing the merits, good karmas, let's reflect upon these 2 days. Yesterday, early morning, you came to the temple. Some others actually checked in even Friday night into the vihar. And since yesterday morning, you've been creating lots of good karmas. Not even you creating good karmas, you've been deepening, sustaining your existing good karmas, active kusalas, and you've been creating inactive kusalas in the form of listening to Dhamma, discussing meditation. We meditated many times throughout the time, and then we had lots of Dhamma discussions. Especially some talks went, today's one went a little over 2 hours, but you learned a lot of things about metta. Probably most of you might have learned that metta itself can lead us to Nibbana today. And then especially about these 16 upakiles for the first time. And these are the true manifestations of our akusalas. Lopadosa moha is a very big classification. You don't see Lopadosa moha in whatever circumstances. You see upakileses, right? You see upakileses. So I would say Lopadosa moha is like the iceberg, and the tip is what you call upakileses. So you can daily experience all these upakileses. As somebody said that, it's good to know that how these things work in our life. So let's reflect upon each single bit of good karmas, kusalas, practice we've been doing to this level. So may all these good karmas be transferred to all the departed ones, starting from all the venerable monks, chief reverends who have stayed here since 18th century, am I right? 18th century. I think there has been a 70 years gap by when Kesari Dhammananda came here, and then from his time onwards, 70 over years after that. So almost like more than a century. All the venerable monks who have made this place a light for spread Buddhism, whatever you call it, Malaysian Buddhism, Theravada, but Buddhism. And all the devotees who have been able to, get this land under the British leadership, and then all the devotees who have been helping this temple, everybody without ethnic backgrounds, who have made this place a hub of Dhamma to all the other centers across Malaysia. Not even across Malaysia. If you go to United States, Canada, if you go to a Sri Lankan temple, you see all the Buddhist Mahavihara books. Trust me. Yes. Sasana Society had dispatched a lot of books, and also they maintain your books here. I don't know whether they have found out their own versions. So they are using these books. Wherever you go to Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto, US, I don't know about the Australian part, you see all these Bhante, Venerable K.C. Dhammananda's book, and also other small booklets that were published by the society here. So then, it is not just the Mahavihara, it is the whole world. Most of the Sri Lankan temples, trust me, they have your books. So that means because of this publication tradition, nowadays you don't see publications, all are becoming digital. Many people have been blessed. So all the devotees, all the donors who have been supporting to this place, who have died in the last many years, and everybody who passed away in the name of all of you, maybe your parents, your siblings, anybody. Also those of them who you don't know, but they have a connection to you in past life. If anybody, because they are also trying to come to see you now, because they know you have done a good karma. So they know they can lend some money, you know. Like when you have money, they are coming to lend money from you, borrow money. You don't have money, they don't approach you. Same thing, right? In our real life, when they know you have money, they come to see you. Right? So these Jnati Petas are coming to us. So when they come, if they don't give anything, they become not happy. So we have to give good karmas too. So may all the good karmas be transferred to all these Jnati Petas, departed ones. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idamme jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. Idamme jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. Idamme jnati nang hotu sukita hontu jnatayo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the Deva, Naga, Mahitika and all the other powerful non-human beings. May they protect and bless all of you. In particular, may they bless the Buddhist Mahavihara, especially the organizing committee. Here we have Brother Leslie and all the other members in the committee or volunteers. A lot of volunteers took part in this event. I saw since yesterday. They prepared food, they organized, and then they did a lot of things moving here and there. And even when we were starting to arrange this place, I had to tell a lot of things, so they complied to do a lot of things over here. So just to make this event a success. At the end, not just to be proud about it, but to feel that we learned something. We learned something fruitful, and now we are bringing the seed back to our home, but not to put in a bookshelf, not to put in your bed, but to plant it. How to plant it? You're going to put them into practice. That is the planting. Otherwise, how many times you record Dhamma talks? You save onto your hard drives, online drives. But seeds are in your house. They never planted. They were never planted properly. Planting happens when you put them into practice. In order to practice, you have to learn how do those theories work in your life. So you have to learn that. We discuss the practical version throughout these 2 days. So may all these good karmas be shared by all the Deva, Naga, Mahitika and all non-human beings, and may they protect and bless all of you, including Vihara, resident monks, everybody who became a part of this journey. And also you, your family members, everybody in your family circles, friend circles. May Deva, Naga, Mahitika be well and happy. May they in particular bless your Dhamma journey. May your Dhamma journey constant, seamless one, not a boring one. Some Dhamma journeys are very boring, painful, stagnated. They blame the meditation, they blame the talks. They are very fully frustrated. So Dhamma journey has to be a constant, seamless, consistent practice. Right? So may Deva, Naga, Mahitika bless you for that excellent, fruitful, consistent, non-stagnated, seamless Dhamma journey. May the teachings that you learn from today be a respect to the Buddha. They are not my teachings, but I explain to you the way I know. I know you are happy, but happiness is not enough. You have to plant the seed that you are carrying today from here, from Mahavihara's retreat back to your house. Not making that you attended any other retreat in your lifetime. So may Deva, Naga, Mahitika be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya ආකාසට්ඨාච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං චිරං රක්ඛන්තු දේශනං චිරං රක්ඛන්තු මං පරන්ති චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ත්වං සදාති. In this endless sansaric journey, supposedly we are supposed to attain Nibbana, but till that point, we are in an endless sansaric journey. In this endless sansaric journey, may we be blessed enough to find Kalyana Mittas. As you all know, we have one Kalyana Mitta, that is Samma Sambuddha. May we be able to be with Kalyana Mittas. May we find, may we be in the company of them. May we be not in the company of Papa Mittas who can pull us out from the Dhamma path and draw us out, who can deviate us from this Dhamma path. Thinking thus, we're going to make this noble wish. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pantiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating in these 2 days retreat. The thematic retreat went by 16 Upakileses. The source material is Vattupama Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 7. So you can reflect, you can read more by looking up this sutta on a book with a good translation, not a poor translation. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulating since yesterday up until now be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa ninchang vadhapachayino chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's bow down 3 times and then Brother Leslie will come over here and then finalize officially. Please stay. We're going to have a group photo. Okay. Just get
Dear participants, before we end this retreat, 2-day retreat, let me take this opportunity to thank Bhante Dr. Chandima for conducting it and facilitating it. And we are considered very lucky to have him with us over the last 2.5 months. And as Bhante had mentioned yesterday, this will be his last retreat for this time when he's here, because he's leaving in February. And I think this Monday will be the last sutta class as well, physical sutta class. Yeah, we will go on Zoom every Monday. We would like to invite Bhante to come back as soon as time permits. Bhante, please do find the time to come back to Buddhist Mahavihara. We will send you an invitation. And we were really, well, I'm personally very pleased to see a young monk with so much passion and enthusiasm to teach the Dhamma. And this gives me great confidence, Bhante, that there are monks like you still around that can, still preach the Dhamma. So on behalf of the Committee of Management, if there is any shortcomings, Bhante, please accept our deepest apologies. Same goes for all participants. If there's been any shortcomings, maybe in accommodations or the food, please accept our apologies. You can send me the complaints privately. Yeah? Okay, so as Bhante said, we'll have a group photograph. Can I invite Brother Lo Chong to offer Bhante a small perikara for Bhante services on behalf of the Committee of Management and all participants? Okay.
You should take a good picture. Come over here, take a picture. Yes.
Wait, hang on. So we'll now have a group photograph before we end, yeah? For those of you who are having the remote controls and the keys to the dorms upstairs, please hand it to Suranga at the back. If you have the remote controls and the keys,